Okay, I have shared a file in the group. You can download it and extract. So today we will discuss about pandas. Last time we discussed about numpy, and then we can today we will load the data and discuss about how to load and like how to do simple analyze. And if we have time, we can go with like floating assay. So download the file and extract it because it's a zip file. Over there, there should be two files. One is txt document and the other one is Jupyter notebook file. So open that Jupyter notebook file. So we will discuss about that file today. Yeah. First, I will activate the environment. And then I will go because in here I have all the files in here. You have to select your own document, like own place where you have saved all the files. In my case, I saved my files in D Python workshop under Python workshop notebooks. So I will go here. I will copy that link and paste here and type cd at the beginning so I can change the directory to that place and I will type D. So now it's changed. So after that, I will launch Jupyter Lab. So in your case, you should have these two files. Your IPy notebook file and then January 17 CO txt files. So you should be in this directory so we can like go and discuss why we use pandas and what are the basic panda data structures and how you can read the data to the pandas and what are some data operations available in panda. All of you have loaded this one because today we will have some exercises. Okay, if you all have loaded, in here we will discuss about data series and data frames. Last time we discussed about list. So what is data series? First one we need to know is data series. In Panda we have data series and data frame. This is the both things, like two things that you need to like remember mainly. So data series is what is a data series? Data series are one of the fundamental data structures in this Panda. So you can think them like dictionary because last time when we are discussing about basic Python, we discuss in Python we have dictionary type data. So this is also dictionary type equivalent to dictionary type data. So what is the main thing in dictionary type data? We discuss on that time we discuss in dictionary type data you will have keys and then the values. So it's same like in here. So here also we have key or index and the value, the actual data values like dictionary, but also have some handy functions attached to them. So to start, start on creating a data series, what we have to do first is data series is coming from pandas. So no matter what, you have to import pandas. So when you are importing pandas, the command is import, then the library name, then as your short form. So here I am going to import pandas as PD. So whenever I need pandas, what will I do? Like I will say PD. If I type PD, then it will call for pandas, like all the functions in the panda library. So now from here, I am going to create some like temperature observation. Till now we are not reading. Right now also I am going to create a like sample data set. So when we are creating sample series, what we need to do? PD dot, then series is an inbuilt function over there, and then you have to type your list. So if you see the docker string of this function, so till now I have not loaded this one. So let me run this command. So what will happen? It will create a panda data series. So how I can see this one? Last time I mentioned, if you put this enable debug icon, and after it turn into this orange color, if you go into the variable section, you will see you have temperature and the type is series. So right now we created a simple series type data in panda. So in here, what you can see, so to view the docker string, you can see if you hit tab, you will shift tab, you will see the docker string. So pd.series. So what are the available what kind of things that this will take as inputs? For the inputs, you can give data, and even you can give the index. If you have index, you can give the index and the data type you can assign, and even some other functions are there. So if you go like in here, you will see some examples as well. So that's why I'm like keep repeating the same thing again and again, that you need to view the docker string. No matter what, just check the docker string of that specific function, you will understand. So in here we created, so this is the series. So what are the things that you see in here? So you have two columns. Two columns in here, you have two columns. This is the first column and this is the second column. And here you have data type as int64. So the values on the left hand side are what we call these values. These are the indexes or key. We can say like key. Both are okay. And then on the right hand side, what we have? The actual values. So if we call for index 1, value will be 20. If you call for index 3, value will be 18. And then here we say like the data type is integers, but typically Panda will accept any type of data for the series. So no matter what, it will accept. So now it's okay, but now we have a problem. What if we can like replace these key values with our own data? Like if we put the instead of these key values, right now we created a temperature series, no? So for the key values, what if we convert these key values into station names or station short codes? So it will be easy. Whenever we need to access the temperature, we can call for that station name and it will retrieve the data for us. So how we can like replace these indexes when we are creating an panda type data series? So to create, do something like that, we can go ahead and say PD series, same function, because last time when I show you the docker string in here, I say you can give the data. In this example, we only provide the data. But after providing the data, you can put a comma and then you can give your index values as well. Right now, what we are going to do is we just give the data. So these are the data files, and then we say index equal, and then we are assigning the indexes. So TOP is a station name, short name for a station, and then OUNDAL TEA. So now it will assign. So to do this thing, both indexes and values should be saved. So what will happen if I type in here comma 19? So now there will be a new data added. But in this side, I have how many data? The values 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 values, but in this side, for the stations, I have 4. If I try to run, what will happen? It's giving me an error. Why? Because to do something like this, I need to have indexes and values, both should be saved. So if I delete this one 19 at the end, it will run. But in your case, I didn't put right 19, I just show. If you do something like that, it will give you an error. So here now you can see index has been changed. Last time we have index 0, 1, 2, 3. but now we have changed the index. So you know how to call for the index, how we can call for this index. If I need to access like DAL temperature, if I need to get the DAL temperature, what should be the command? In the temperature, so the data set name is, data series name is temperature. So how I can access this dictionary value is temperature, and if I need the DAL value, is same. Whenever we need to access using index, what we said, variable name within box bracket, you need to give the index. So in this case, instead of index, what we are using, their key value. So to put a key value, we need to put the key value within single quotation marks. So if you put the key values within single quotation mark like DAL, it should give us the temperature. So here you can see it's integer 64 type data. The value is 25. So if I need to access DEN value, here I need to replace this one into DEN. So it should give me the exact value corresponding to that station. So now what if I need to access like multiple values? Last time I access only like single value. Here I access only single value. So if I need to get like multiple station data from the series that I have created, I can use temperatures. The like variable name is temperature, and then within two box brackets, and I can create another two box bracket and pass a list. So in that list, I will mention the index value. First station name DAL and then OUA. So if I execute this one, what will happen? It is giving me the value of DAL is 25, OUN is 20. So this is the way how you can access those data and how you can create an index based data series. And then here last time yesterday we discussed, when we are discussing numpy, how to mask the data. So what will happen if I type temperature greater than 20? So it is masking the data where the temperature value is greater than 20, and it should show me the rest of the temperature values which are greater than 20. So if I execute this one, what should be appear? The only two stations, this station and this station, have the values greater than 20. So I should get these two as my output. So here if I type greater than 19, I should get 3 stations. So this is the way how you can filter your data after you loading a data series. So same thing, yesterday we discussed about broadcasting in numpy. So if we type our array name in here, we are typing this like our data series plus 2, what will happen? So it will add 2 for each and every single individual value over there, because we discussed when we are talking about that broadcasting in numpy. If you type something like this, it will affect for all the values in that data series. So if I execute this one, you can see now for all the values in here plus 2 is added for all the values. So now next thing, so I said like these things are like dictionaries. No, what is this? Now what we are doing in here, if you remember dictionary in Python, how we can create a dictionary? So we said if you open something within the box bracket, what kind of data inside the box bracket? If we say like variable name equal, yeah, okay, I will say like a equal something, and then within commas I assign the value. This one is list, and then this one I say if you open using like curly brackets, what it will be? Within curly brackets, we will create what? Dictionary. When we are creating dictionary, I said like you need to assign your index using within like single quotation mark and then 2 colons and then value comma, then keep repeating all the values. Within single quotation mark, you need to give the variable name, then you can put 2 double dots and give the value for that thing. Like that, likewise, you can keep repeat. And if we create some data within like brackets, what will happen? This kind of we discuss. It will be tuple. This one will be like tuple type data. So that's why I say like you need to keep remember all these things when we are going here. So now what we are creating is a dictionary type data. Let me copy this one and like execute, then you will see. So if I type this one and execute, so now we should create DPS variable. So how I can variable this data? I can click on this bug icon in here and I can go. So if I refresh this one, let me right click this again. So here you will see DPS, DICT. That means this is where like dictionary type data, DPS. So now how we can convert this DPS, that means the dictionary type data into Panda series. So simply what we can do is we can call for that dictionary directly, the variable name of that dictionary. So if I call for that variable name of dictionary, automatically what will happen? It will convert this dictionary type data into a Panda series. So if I execute this one, what I should get? I need to get like dev points. So now it is converted into series type data. So if I view the data type in here, you can see now dev point is created. It is dictionary type. Last time that DPS was in dictionary type. So this is how you can convert dictionary type data directly into a Panda series. When you are converting dictionary type data into directly into a Panda series, what will happen? It will get the key values or the index values automatically. So here we didn't assign the key values. No? When we are calling for the data series, we didn't say index equal this. That part is not there. Directly we call for the dictionary type data. When we call for directly to the dictionary type data, because since the dictionary already has that inbuilt indexes, it will convert automatically in Panda series as well. So now how we can check whether the station or key is available or not? How we can check that thing? So if we need to say, okay, in this data series which I have created, I need to check whether a specific station is available or not. That means an index is available or not. So if I type phx in dev points, something like this, what does it mean? I am asking whether this key value is there in this data or the variable. So that means the data series. So what should be the output? I am asking whether this is there or not. So in dev points, I have this station. So PHX is there, so it should be true. So if I say PHX in temperature, what will happen? So in temperature, I don't have a station name PHX. So this is one way you can check whether the index are there, the actual like key is there or not in the data series. So next, for the series, there's two more specific things. For a series, it can have its own attribute like its index name, like name and its attribute name. So that what does it mean? Like if I type temperature dot mean, what should let me like execute this one, then you will understand. So if I view temperature now in here, now you can see in the we have something called stations. So this is the value of these indexes. So I can say, okay, last time we only created this table. So here I have index value. In this side I have index values. 0, 1, like we replace the index values with station name like EOP, OUN, and then something like that. And then this side I have values 15, 20, 25, 30, something like that. I have values. Now I can give this data series, like for the index of this data series, I can say, okay, this index represent the stations. So to rename this one, I can use this. If I use this one, temperature dot index dot name, so it will give a name for this indexes. So index name will be stations. And also I can give this entire data series a name as well. So to give an entire data series a name, I can say temperatures dot name is equal temperature. So in here you will see the name of this variable is temperature, and also the values or that data series represent station like temperature value, and the type is int64, because in here at the very top, if you see go and like see the temperature in here, what I can see only the index value and then those things and the data type. So in here I didn't have any name for this data series, and even I don't have like labeled index. But if I execute these two commands, that means it is assigning index name using the second command index dot name is assigning the name for the indexes, and then it is giving name for that specific series. Okay, now you have any small exercise. Just create a pressure for station like OU, OUN, DEN, and you can assign any values that you like. You need to create a Panda data series. We discuss how to create a data series. You only need to create a data series. Just try to do this one. And then you can say, you can set series name and series name, index name. So you know how to set series name and series index name. And then print the pressure values for all station, which value have dew point below 50. So now you know all of these concepts. Try to do this one. First, create a data series for the pressure for this station. So you should have index. How many index you need to have? 4 index. That means 4 values should be there. So you need to create a simple variable name pressure equal, then you know the command pd dot something. Then you have to give the values, pressure values, and then the station names to create a simple data series. Try to create the simple data series like this because you need to know about Panda. Next thing is like X-ray. X-ray is the advanced version of Pandas. If is there any volunteer, he can come and like execute this one. You can just copy the commands and like even paste and try to run. You don't need to type the entire thing.
The bike sticker.
You cannot get it now. You are in talent department. So it is easy. I am just asking you to create a data series for this specific index. So the index name should be TOP, OUN, DEN, and DA. And there you need to set the station name, series name, and index name. And then the last one will be like little bit like much advanced, but it is simple. In above stage, like we discuss how we can use, how we can filter the temperature values which are greater than 50. Now I am asking just print the pressure value for the station which dew point is greater than 50.
I'm using my because I'm not doing it. සම්පූර්ණ අයින් කළා දාන්න වේ වගේ.
Post කරලා create කරපම් බලන්න.
ये इधर था ये था. Install කරනවද?
environment එක දාපන් ආවේ. මේකට environment එක දාපන් install කරන්න. නැත්නම් නිකන් environment එක create කරපම් මේක මේව කරලා environment එක දාපන් කොහොමද අර YME හොයන්නේ. This is not that much hard, no? It's easy. So how to create a series? Which command I have to use when I am creating a series? So let me open the other file which I have sent. So in this command, which command I have to use when I am creating a series? So this will be the command that I have to use to create a sample data series. So instead of temperature, what I have to use? Pressure. Though this time I am asking variable name should be pressure. And then PD series. Here you can give any values for those 4 stations. And the index will be same I think. EOP, OUN, DAE, DAL and DEA. Here you have to change only these 4 values. Then what will happen? It will create a series. So what I can do is I can simply copy this line and modify it accordingly. Let me copy this line and paste in here. So now instead of temperatures, I am saying pressures. You can type pressure PD series. For the pressure values, I can type 1000 and then I can type 800 and then 850 and then 1050. Here I am asking for the station TOP, OUN, then DEN and DAL. So I can like shift these two or I can keep it like this. So this will be the solution for the first one. This one I shared in the group. If you are in the group, you should. So you can see now if I type pressures, there should be an output. So if I type pressures, then I should see the pressure values for corresponding stations. See TOP, OUN, DAL, DEN. I have the pressure value. So now in the second one, I am asking set the series name and series index name. So when we are setting series name and series index name, what is the command that we have to use? I say we can give the index names and series name. So this will be the command that we have to use. So in last time in here I type temperature names. Why? I need to rename the name of that temperature variable and then I use index.names to rename the index names for that variable. So I can copy these two lines and I can change this one. So how I can change this? Let me create a new line in here and now I can paste this. What I am doing pressure, then dot name equal in here I am saying set the series name and series index name. Okay, so the series name I will give this one as pressure and then in here for the index I can say okay variable name is pressures dot index dot name it should be the stations. So after I execute this one and view the variable, what should I see? Now I have the index name as stations and the name of that series as pressure. And in the last command should be a little bit tactical. So I am asking print the pressure value for all stations which have a dew point below 50. So how I can do this one? What should be the command? What should be the command? This is the little bit like tactic thing. Other two things like is like it should be like easy. It's not that hard. If you understand the single line. Okay, in here I say like which command we have to use. Which command I have to use it from here. If I need to print the temperature values. So in here I say temperature equal temperature less than 20. So something like this we have to type if I need to filter the data station. But here I have to change. So this should be the command, no? Instead of copying the command, I can even type the command. Let me type the command. So I am asking get the pressure values. If I need to get the pressure values, which one should I type first? So it should be pressure. Let me hit tab, then it should give me all the variable names at the end of type pressures. Then if I for to filter the values, it should be typed in within the box brackets. So what should be the argument I should pass in here? So what should be the argument? It should be pressure. I am asking what print the pressure values for all the station which have dew point below 50. So here I created a dew point series as well. Now I am asking print the values of the pressure of each station where right now you can combine this thing together. Like if you consider these lines as together, so this will be station names. And then I have two values. Here I have pressure values and here I have dew point values. So I have two series separately, not combined. Now I am asking print all the stations and their pressure value where dew point is less than 50. So what should I type in here? The command, it should be dew points which is less than 50. So what should I get at the end? For the station corresponding, you can double check this one. So TOP, what is the value of the pressure of TOP is? TOP is, I type 1000, and then for OUN, I type 800. For DAL, I type 850. And then the last station is DEN, I type 1050. So now these are the pressure values, and for the corresponding dew point values, what should I see for the corresponding dew point values? If I type dew points, I can get the values and the station names. No? Let me type, if I type dew points, now I have TOP, what is the corresponding dew point? 40. And then for OUN, corresponding dew point is 18. And then DAL, corresponding dew point is 23. And then for DEN, corresponding temperature is, corresponding dew point is 9. So now I am saying dew point which is less than 50. So less than 15, we have this station and then this station. So I view the pressure values corresponding to those two stations. So I should get TOP, value of TOP is 1000, and then value of DEN is 1050. So this is how you can like develop these things when you are like filtering or like extracting your data for your needs. So this is a basic example, but in your case it will be different. So what? So here you don't need to create this one. Why you create DPS? This one. This part you don't need. Because if you see, already we created the dew points in here. So dew point is already created and that variable is already there. So you don't need to keep repeat this step again. You don't need this step again. You can delete this part. Even it should work. If you type something like it should work. So last command is pressure. No? If you delete this one and execute this cell, try to execute this cell. So now you get the value. So if you type pressure at the end, it is printing the last command, not the previous command. So this one you have to be like extremely careful. If you type something like this, now I am saying pressure dew point equal less than equal 15, and I put a enter and I am saying pressure. So what should be the output? Should it give me this, the output of this one or the output of this one? So it should give me all the pressure values. See? So what is happening is like deleting the previous one, the output of previous one, and replacing it with the new output. So if you need to get something like this, you have to type these commands in separate lines or separate code blocks. If you type this one in the single code block, it will show you something like this. Okay, now the next thing is data frames. Now you know about data series. Now we are coming for data frame. Data frame is something like this. We have multiple data series combined together. That means it will be a table. So series is like great as we discussed, but how about we can have bunch of related data series? So typically, if we are dealing with like tabular data, that thing is we can consider as a data frame. So to create a data frame, we can import this thing same like dictionary type data series, data set. So how we can create in here, if you see the like in here, still we are creating sample data. Okay, now we are creating what? This data should be what? In which format? If you check the check with this like bracket, this one should be a dictionary, a simple dictionary. So this one is the station, and the value of a station we are passing as a list, and then we have the second index, that means temperature, and the values we are passing as a list, and then even for the dev points we create the index name dev point, and then we are passing it as a list. So we can create this one. So now it will be a list. To convert the list into a data frame, not the list dictionary type data into a list like data frame, we can call for pd.dataframe. So what will happen? It will create a data frame. So if I shift tab this one, you can see what is the purpose of this one. You can see it is creating a data frame. Now you can see for the data frame also what we have. Last time in the data series we only have values and index. Now in here what we have? Now we have a table. In this table we have 1, 2, 3 columns. Not 3, 4 columns are there. So the first column is 0, 1, 2, 3. What does these values mean? These values, these are the indexes. And then here we have the first column, that means the value of first thing is station, and then temperature, and then dew point. So last time we only consider about one series like this. We consider about only one series, that means something like this part. Now we have multiple series because we have value and then data. For the temperature also we have a value and index. For the dew point also we have value and index. So this is what we call a data frame. That means it is a multiple, like it's a combination of multiple data series. So now how you can access columns in data series? Now you need to know this about this. How you can access a column, specific column in this data frame. So what's the name I given for that data frame? df. So if I click here and view on the variable names, now df is in data frame. So the data, this one is in dictionary. So we create dictionary type data and then we convert into a data frame. Now whenever I need to access that data frame, I should call for df. So in here I am type df, then within this box I am saying temperature. So what should I get? So what should I get? So I should get the column or the series representing the temperature, because I have two index values in here. Here this is one index, this is another index. So if I type df temperature, it should give me the index values, like it's like accessing a series of that data frame. So now there's two ways of accessing this one. One way is you can like give the index like the series name, as we discussed when we are discussing about panda frame, like data series. We also say if you need to access single element in here, you have to give the index name. So same way you can give the column name, that means the index name for that specific column, and you can access this one as well. Other thing is you can like df dot. If you type df dot and hit tab, it should give you all the commands that you can use with this df data frame. So under here, if I start typing df dot dew and hit tab, you should be see this option like dev point. You should be see this option dev point. So what will happen if I type def dot then tea? Even temperature is there. If I type st and type, I have the stations as well. So this is the best way. Rather than going on like something like this, you can call for df, then dot that column name. So in here, the column names are station, temperature, and dew point. So if I need to get dew points, I can type df dot dew point and hit shift tab. So there's two ways of accessing a series of a specific data frame. One way is you can like mention the column name within box bracket by giving single quotation mark, or you can type data frame dot then the value of that column. So now how you can create and assign a new column. Like right now my data frame only have, if I type df dot and not df dot, if I type df, so this is the data frame now. For this specific data frame, how I can create a new column? Just imagine in a practical scenario, you need to get a summation of these two values and store that value in another column. So for that thing, you need to create an empty column. How you can create an empty column for that? So when you are creating an empty column for that specific kind of task, or if you need to import another variable for that column, you can say, okay, data frame within box bracket, you can give your variable name, new column name. So what will happen? If I type df with a single quotation mark, I am typing w speed. It's like windy speed. You can consider it as windy speed. For the short command, I am typing w speed and then assign equals 0 point. All the values in that column will be 0. So if I execute this one, what will happen? So you see a new column is added in here. We have the index name is windy speed and we have the values. All is like change converted into zeros. But here you can see it should be in double because I say 0 point. We discuss if I type 0 point, what will happen? The data will be automatically converted into float. So now it will be converted into float and we have a new column. Now instead of this index, right now the index are in 0, 1, 2, 3, like number format. How I can replace this index into stations? So then I can access, if I type the station name, then it should give me temperature, dew point, wind speed, all of these three variables for that specific index. Now I need to call for that series like 0, like 0, 1, 2, 3. Then it will show me the value. But I need to replace these index names with the stations. So what should be the command? So if I type df.index, it is accessing the index of this data frame. And if I type df.stations, what is happening? df.station is accessing. So you can type these two separately. If I type df.index, it will print me the index values. So it should be start from 0 and in from 4 and stop like step is 1. That means 0, 1, 2, 3. That's it. And now I am saying, okay, df index, get these values equal df stations. Replace that values with this value. So if I execute this one, what's happened? Now you can see I have index because last time we say this first column is representing the indexes. So it is changed with the values of station. Now I have two columns, like not two columns. Actually here you can see two columns. The first one is like index values. Now I need to drop the second one because I don't need the station as a separate column, like as values, because I already create a convert that into like index names. So how we can drop a specific column? Just imagine for your calculation, you import a table or Excel data where you have wind speed and other variables. For that specific calculation, you don't need that specific one specific column or multiple columns. How you can drop a single column from this data frame? When you are dropping a column, the command will be data frame dot drop. So there's an inbuilt function called drop. If you call for that one, it accept. You can shift tab and view the docker string of this one. So the main thing is you can say, okay, I need to remove the station column. I can give the column name within quotation mark. So the column name is station, and then I am specifying the axis as columns. So I need to drop all the values in this column. So if I execute this one, what should happen? Now what happened? So you can see this station column has been deleted from our data frame. And now we ended up with something like this station top oua. If you view the docker string of this file, it is saying what drop specific labels from rows or columns. That means you can use this drop command not only for columns. You can delete an entire row as well. If you need to delete the entire row, you can use the drop command. Even you can use this one to drop an entire column as well. So where you have to change? If it is a row, where you have to change? Here it should be the index or the station. In this case, if I need to drop this OUN row, what should be the command? def.drop, what should be the command? OUN, then axis should be row, because if you go in here, it is saying axis 0, 1. If I go into the in-depth details, it is saying axis. If I give 0, it will be index 1 for columns and default is series. Other one is like rows. So if I type rows, it will drop that specific row. So that's the way how you can like delete your data from a specific table. Now next thing is how we can add data in order to provide index values. So here I am saying, okay, now we have temperature, dew point, wind speed. Now how I can add another column with the values. Last time we say another like one method. How we can add? We can say that data frame name df data frame name equals then empty value. So if I need to give each and every specific station a value, how I can do it? So now I am going to assign values as well. So how I can create something like this? So this will be the command. I can say def pressure, because I say no matter what, when you create a new data frame or access a new data like all data frame, what should be the command? Def, we discussed two types. Def, then within box bracket, you need to put single quotation mark, your new column name, if you are creating a new column, and then it is equal, because I say data frame is a combination of series, data series. So now we are creating a new series to combine into this data frame. So that's why I say PD series. Then in Panda series, I mentioned when you are creating an empty thing, what should be the command? First should be your values, and then comma separated, then the index. So what will happen in here? So 1010, I am creating the pressure value for that specific station. So DE8. So what should happen? Right now in the table, I have station name, TOP, OUN, and then DEN, and then I have DAL, and then I have temperature, then dew, and then at the end I have wind speed, and then I am going to add pressure. I will omit this one for this case. So if I type pressure in here, I am saying okay, for DEN, pressure value should be 1010. So what will happen? It will access this index and give the value as 1010. And now for the next one, I am saying okay, index TOP. So it will access index TOP. Should be the first part. So value should be 1000. Then for the DAL, value should be 998. So for the DEN, it will give 998, and then OUN, it will give 1080. So what's the main point? When you are creating this one, you don't need to give the specific order. So did I give this one in specific order? Because in my data frame, the station order is TOP, OUN, DEL, DAL. But in here, I say DEN, TOP, DAL, OUN. So that's the main purpose. That's why we have index. If we have index in our data frame, no matter what, we can type the specific index name and assign the value. So it will automatically put the values into the corresponding index. Even if we shuffle this one, if I shuffle this one, what will happen? If I put TOP at the very beginning and DEN at the second place, what will happen? I am not changing the values. For the TOP, it will assign 1010. If I change this one, then DEN, it will assign 1000. So if I execute this one, what should happen? At the end, you will get a new column named pressure, and all the values has been assigned according to the way that we declare. So now last time we discussed, okay, we call for entire column. Now how we can access a row, a specific row in the data frame instead of a column. So how we can go with this one? So how we can go with this? So for that thing, when you are going with data frame, we have a specific thing called LOC, lock. So that means def dot lock, and then you can give the data, the column, the index name of that specific column. So I am saying def dot lock, then den. So what is happening? So now it is accessing this den column and printing me all the values responding to temperature, dew point, wind speed, and pressure. So you can see temperature value is 25, dew point value is 9, wind speed is still 0, pressure value is 1010. So the command is LOC whenever you need to access. So there's another way. Did you heard about transpose? When you are working with Excel, if you create a table, you need to get the transpose. What will happen? It will convert columns into rows and rows into columns. So if I need to transpose like my data frame, in any case, if I need to do a transpose, what should be the command? My data frame name dot t. So if I hit this one, what should happen? Rows will be columns and columns will be rows. So now what happened? So see, last time the stations was like this. Let me type this one the top so we can see df. So in here, data frame is in this specific order. So stations is a single column, temperature is another column, dew point another column, wind speed, pressure another column. Now if I type df dot, what happened? So it is changing columns into rows, rows into columns. So now the station column has been converted into a row. Now, so if I use dft, how I can access that top values? I can type directly dft dot top. What will be the output? Because we say now it is like converted into the columns was converted into the rows. So no matter what, when we access columns, we say df then the column name dot column name. But if we need to access a specific row, we have to type this one. Look, so this is the main point you have to like keep in your mind when you are accessing a data frame. You need to remember whenever you need to access a specific column, the command will be your data frame name, the variable name of your data frame dot that column name. But if you need to like access a specific row, what should be the command? Data frame name dot loc, then within box bracket you need to give your column index value. Then it will print all the corresponding values. Yeah, LOC for row, and df dot directly if you call, if you delete this one and like type within box bracket, you can access column without LOC. So now if I type df values, what should it print? So now it is showing me only the values, nothing like no column index or no row index. It is only showing purely me only the values. So if you need to get specific column values, you can type, we say, if I say df temperature, what should this access? Now if I hit like run this command, what will happen? It should give me the data series. Now if I type dot values, what should happen? Now it should print me only the values for that corresponding column. So now you have a simple exercise. Add a series of rain observation into the existing data frame. That means the DF. For this data frame, you need to add a new column. For this data frame, you need to add a new column. The column name will be rain observation. So you can type precipitation. So you need to create a new column, name precipitation, and you need to give some values. And then you need to do an instrument correction for the dew points. That means when you are collecting these dew points, your instrument had an issue. Now you need to correct that thing. So they will say like, okay, when we are correcting this dew point, we had an issue in that specific instrument. So to correct this one, you have to subtract 2 from each like individual value. So try to do the first one. The first one will be getting the like adding a new series of rain observations. How you can add? What should be the command? You can type. You can give any values. There's no restriction. You can give any values. You just need to create a new column, name precipitation, or you can give any value like rain observation or anything, and then it should have some values. So what's the command for creating a new column? Without any values, what's the command to create a new empty column? Maybe we discuss this one when we are creating wind speed. If you need to create an empty column, what should be the command? Your data frame name dot within box bracket, you need to put single quotation mark and then you need to give the name. Okay, now you create the variable name. Then equal. Now you need to create a series or data frame. Series. So how we create the data series? We need to call for Panda library. That means PD dot in Panda library we have something called data series. So we need to call for data series, and then how we can create the data series? Within bracket, within two brackets, we need to pass it. How we are passing? There are two ways. You can give the list, that means the values, comma separated values, and then give a comma and you can type index equal, then you need to put index within these two box bracket, like 2 comma separated, then this one should be your one station name, this one should be the second station name, then comma third station name, and then you need to close the box bracket, and finally you need to close the entire data series. And the other way is you can create this one separately as a dictionary type data. So if you are creating this one as a dictionary type data, you can say like, okay, give your like dictionary type data name equal. Then when creating the dictionary, it should be curly brackets. So first one will be your station name, then two dots, values, then comma, your station name, dot value, then comma. Likewise, you have to give 4 values and then close this one. And directly after you say PD data series, you can call this specific name directly in here. So it's up to you. You can go either one of this method or that method. So any volunteer